only rich once, why most people can't hold on to the money that changes their lives. Written by Yeaton, narrated by Yeaton. The premise: 99 books out of 100 are about the same thing, how to get the money in. This one is about the part almost nobody talks about. What happens to the person who got it in after it arrives, whether that person survives. Here is something I want you to sit with, because it took me years and other people's ruin to understand it. On the day life-changing money lands, 3 things walk into the room at the same time. Most books only ever look at the first one. The first is the money itself. Countable, bankable, investable. This is the easy part, the part everyone obsesses over and the part that almost never does the damage. The second is a new version of you. A you who is suddenly no longer held down by reality. Every appetite you've been sitting on wakes up at once. The wanting, the pride, the need to make up for lost years, the hunger to prove something to people who doubted you. None of it asks permission. It just stands up. The third is a crowd. The people you know, the people who half know you, and the people who are about to know you the moment word gets out. They will start treating you according to a brand new script, one you never agreed to and never read. Here is the part that matters. People who lose it almost never lose to the money. They lose to the second thing and the third thing, to the new self and to the crowd. So the real spine of this book is a single sentence that runs against everything you've been told. Money doesn't change you. It just stops paying for your disguise. When you were poor, reality was your discipline. It said no for you all day long. The thing you wanted to buy, the cousin you wanted to rescue, the bet you wanted to place, reality refused on your behalf before you ever had to. You called it being broke. It was also being protected. The day you get rich, that outside discipline disappears. Nobody says no for you anymore. From here on, you have to build the know yourself on the inside. Almost no one ever builds it. That's the book. It will not teach you to make money. It will teach you how, after the money comes, not to lose yourself along with it. The 3 laws. Everything in the 12 chapters falls back onto one of these. When you forget the rest, keep these. Law 1, the amplifier. Money is not a brush that paints something new onto you. It is a magnifying glass. It adds nothing. It enlarges what was already there. Your judgment gets multiplied. So does your chaos. When you were poor, your flaws were cheap. Reality discounted them. Get rich, and the same flaws start arriving with a price tag attached. Law 2, the visibility tax. The moment wealth is seen, it begins to tax you. And it does not collect in cash. It collects in relationships, in guilt, in your own peace. The more people who know, the more invoices you receive that you never signed. Privacy is the one luxury first-generation money can never buy back. Law 3, the one window. The window that lifts you out of your class usually opens once in a life. It's decided by your era, your luck, your age, and your platform, and not one of those 4 answers to you. Mistaking a window that was built to close for a door that stays open is the first cause of falling back down. Introduction. You are not ready for the money. Let me tell you who falls. It isn't the lazy one. It isn't the fool. The person who earns the kind of money that changes a bloodline is almost always capable, sharp, relentless, better than the room. That's how the money got made in the first place, and then it ruins them anyway. Because earning money and carrying money are 2 completely different abilities, and the world only ever trains you in the first one. School, work, hustle, the whole machine, all of it is built to help you get it. None of it prepares you to hold it. You arrive at the most important day of your financial life with a perfect education for the wrong exam. Think back to when you were broke. Somewhere in your head you kept a list. When I have money, I'm finally going to a car, a house for your mother, the trip, the watch, the friend you'd carry, the bet you'd make. You called it a dream list and you were proud of it. It was not a dream list. It was a list of desires that reality had been quietly holding in a cell. The day the money arrives, every cell door in that prison opens at the same moment. And here's the part nobody warns you about. The desires do not come out in a line, one at a time, politely. They come out together, the catch-up spending, the vanity, the old relationships sensing fresh blood, the addictions you thought you'd outgrown, the years of needing to be respected. All of it floods the same hallway at once on the same morning, while you are still dizzy from the news. You think the danger that day is a number on a screen. The danger is the stampede inside your own chest. The English-speaking world worships one equation above all others. Money equals freedom. I'm not going to tell you it's wrong. I'm going to tell you it's incomplete in a way that has quietly bankrupted thousands of capable people. Money gives you options. Without a system, every option becomes a weapon pointed back at you. The freedom is real. But freedom without an internal order isn't freedom. It's a loaded room with the safety off. The lottery winner is free to help everyone who asks, right up until there's nothing left. The rookie is free to live like the contract is forever, right up until the contract isn't. The early crypto holder is free to bet the whole window on a second window that never opens. The first-time viral creator is free to spend a single good month, as if every month will be that good. Look at the pattern, because the pattern is the whole point. These aren't different mistakes. They're the same mistake wearing 5 different costumes. A person who was handed options but never built the system to survive his own choices. I want to be gentle here, because this part isn't your fault and I won't pretend it is. Nobody taught us this. You don't get a class on what to do the week a windfall lands. You get 1,000 teachers on how to chase it and not one on how to catch it without breaking your hands. So when it finally comes and you fumble it, the shame you feel is misplaced. You weren't weak. You were untrained. Handed the heaviest thing you'll ever carry with a set of instructions for a different object entirely. So understand what wealth actually tests first. Not your intelligence. You already proved that on the way up. What it tests, the instant it lands, is something the world never bothered to measure in you. Your sense of order. Whether in the loudest, most exhilarating moment of your life, phone ringing, account swelling, everyone suddenly warm, you can be still. Whether you can hold a thing without immediately spending it, announcing it, or betting it. Whether you can sit in the one room nobody trains you to sit in, the room where you do nothing, on purpose, while every voice, including your own, screams, go. That stillness is the whole game. The rest of this book is just teaching your hands how to do it. Scarcity was the discipline the world lent you. Wealth asks you to start paying for your own. Turn the page. The first thing I have to walk you through is the worst understood day of your life, the day the money actually arrives. Everyone treats it as the finish line. It's the starting gun. Chapter 1. The day the money arrives. Picture the moment, because you'll likely live some version of it. A notification, a signed page, a wire that clears. The number on the screen is larger than every number that came before it, combined. Your hands go a little cold. You read it again to be sure. And the first thought that moves through you, the one underneath all the others, is the same thought everyone has. I made it. It's over. I need to take that thought from you carefully because it's the most dangerous one you'll have all year. This day is not the end of anything. It's the beginning of a race you have never trained for, against an opponent you can't see. And the gun has just gone off while you're still standing there, celebrating with your shoes untied. Watch how universal this is. The lottery winner gets the call, the founder's company gets acquired, the employee's options finally convert to real money. The athlete signs the first big contract, the creator earns more in 1 month than in the previous 3 years, 5 completely different lives, and on day 1, every single one of them is standing in front of the same set of questions they cannot answer. Who do I tell? And here's the trap inside that question. Telling one person is telling a circle. There is no such thing as telling just one. How much is actually left after tax? Most people have never once done this subtraction. They are emotionally spending a pre-tax number that will never exist. Should I quit? Buy the house? Help my family? Make the investment? Change how I live? Starting today? Every one of those questions feels urgent. Not one of them is. And that gap between how urgent they feel and how urgent they are is exactly where the fortune dies. Here is the insight I most want to hand you, the one that separates the people who keep it from the people who become a cautionary story at someone else's dinner. The most important thing to do on day 1 is not celebrate, it's isolate the risk. The celebration can wait a month and lose you nothing. The risk cannot wait an hour, because on this specific day, at this specific emotional altitude, your judgment is the least trustworthy it will be at any point in your entire life. And you are about to use that broken instrument to make the biggest decisions you've ever made. Joy, relief, vindication, the high of finally being seen as a winner, that cocktail does not make you sharper. It makes you generous, impatient, and easy to move. Every large decision made at the emotional peak is, almost by law, the wrong one. Look at where the fork actually is. The lottery winner who claims the prize publicly and the one who claims it quietly through a trust are living 2 completely different futures, and the entire split happens on day 1 before a single dollar is spent. The IPO employee who thinks through the lockup, the tax bill, and the danger of holding everything in one stock versus the one who feels rich and waits. Same first day, opposite endings. The rookie nobody warned about the wall, the injury, the cliff that comes faster than anyone his age can imagine. The creator who treats the first viral month as the new baseline instead of as weather. The bomb went in on day 1. It just takes a season to go off. In every case, the disaster has an author, and the author signs his name early. People look at the wreckage 2 years later and say he went broke. They're describing the explosion. I want you to learn to see the day the fuse was laid, almost always the very first one. So here is your hard rule for this chapter, and it will feel insane because it is the exact opposite of what every instinct tells you to do. When the money arrives, the rarest and most valuable thing you can do is nothing. Not nothing forever, nothing first, don't quit, don't buy, don't announce, don't lend, don't promise, don't restructure your life by Friday. Let the number sit in a quiet account and let your nervous system come down from the ceiling before you let it touch a single irreversible decision. The world will tell you that speed is winning. On this one day, in this one situation, speed is the enemy. And the ability to be still while everyone pushes you to move is not weakness. It's the first real act of someone who intends to stay rich. The first day of wealth is not a celebration. It is an emergency meeting with the version of you that hasn't been born yet. That future self is the one who will either thank you or curse you for what you do this week. He's watching. He hasn't arrived yet, but every choice you make right now is being made on his behalf, with his money and his only window. The good news is that there's an exact protocol for the silence. What to do, in what order, for how long. That's the spine of everything that follows. But before I can hand you the protocol, you have to understand the one law that makes all of it non-negotiable. The reason you can't afford to fumble this is not that money is hard to make. It's that for most people, this window only opens once.